Hello everybody, this is Sir Winston here on the Sir Winston Podcast, and today is episode 9, season 2, and today we're going to be talking about the Russo Brothers and their journey to becoming Hollywood directors. They actually started in college, and they actually raised like $35,000 to like $7,000, and they did the films with their families and friends, and it was like an abstract film that they did, and it was actually kind of like a really in-depth film. So what they did was they actually kind of shopped that around, and they were doing films for the next 5 years, and little films here and there, and little short films. It actually kind of caught the attention of a famous director that gave them a chance to direct their own major picture film with a famous actor, in which that was George Clooney. And then after they did that, the network, and they asked them, do they want to do a show on TV? Now, once they did a show on TV, which was like, it was a show, I think it lasted like 2 or 3 years. It was called Arrested Development, and they actually won an Emmy for this. So that kind of catapulted them to do another TV show called Community. Community is like a classic. Everybody loves that show. I mean, Donald Glover came from that show. And within these years of them doing this TV show, they actually did this episode, like it's like a paintball episode, and it was kind of like an action-packed movie that they were doing. And they love films. That's what they do. They love films. And they was kind of like experimenting with their films and stuff, with their like TV show. And they were like, okay, let's do this. And they actually did a really good job. And one of the producers that was producing the MC universe and watching that show, and they really loved the show. And it was kind of like one of those shows that you throw on at night and you just kind of laugh and have a good time. And they were actually kind of like, man, you know what? How about they do Captain America, Civil War, and how about they do these movies? Because I really like their style. And you can actually see their style in that TV show episode that they did to the film. And I thought that was a great journey that they did, because that wasn't something that they ever did before. It was something that they just was kind of trying out because they love films a lot and they like to do different types of films. Now, fast forward, they becoming big Hollywood directors, and they actually kind of just been breaking records, because these films are huge. These films are really huge, and I enjoy their films and how the way they like do their like cut scenes, and how the way they do all the running, and they really just set it up to where, you know, you're actually involved in with each character, and each character has a scene in the film, and you're like in depth with it. So I can't wait to see another film that they do. Now, I want to kind of give some tips on how the way you can actually kind of take what they did and apply it to your artistry. Number one is that they had a vision. They was like, yo, I want to do a war scene in our show. That show wasn't big, but it's like one of those cult classics. And number two, they experimented. They actually said, okay, I'm gonna do some shots like this. And number three is they take risk. They took risk that no one was thinking that they were gonna do an action film, and they took a risk, and they said, you know what, we love the action film. You know, I'm pretty sure they had doubts, and they were actually kind of like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. You know, I don't even know if I could do this. But it's very intimidating when you have the MCU and all these big name actors and, like, you know, Marvel Universe. But they took on the challenge. They took the risk. All right, everybody, this is Sir Winston Williams here on the Sir Winston Podcast. Like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys later. Peace.